Hello everyone. So in this video we're gonna practice some radical expressions, how we add and subtract them. Okay, so we're gonna start with this one. We're gonna simplify uh, each expression here. So we have number one here. We have like 5 square root of 3 minus 3 square root of 3 plus 4 square root of 8. Well, first of all, we have, in order to add, we need to add like radicals, the same root. Like for example, we can combine the 5 square root of 3 and 3 square root of 3. It's like we have 5 apples minus 3 apples, which is 2 apples. So it's going to be like 2. So the first 2 here, right? It's going to be like 2 square root of 3 plus. Well, here we have square root of 8. No, 8 is not a perfect square, but we have to find factors of 8. We know that 8 equals 4 times 2, and 4 is a perfect square. That's going to help us here. It's going to be like 4, right? And 8 is the square root of 4 times 2. So we're going to continue here. So 2 square root of 3 plus 4. By using the property of multiplication of the square root here, we're going to have the square root of 4 times square root of 2. And that's going to be 2 square root of 3 plus 4. Square root of 4 is 2. And here we have the square root of 2. And we can multiply 4 with 2 here. So we're going to get like 2 square root of 3 plus 4 times 2 is 8. And that's going to be like 8 square root of 2. And that will be the answer, right? So the answer is going to be 2 square root of 3 plus 8 square root of 2. All right, so let's do number 2 here. We get number 2 here. We get 11 square root of 28 plus square root of 7 plus 2 square root of 7. Well, here we can add the last two terms here, or the last two root, right? It's going to be, here is like we have the 1 square root of 7. So we're going to combine 1 with 2, right? Because we have the same root, which is square root of 7 and square root of 7. So that's going to be 11 square root of 28 plus 3 square root of 7. Now, 28 is not a perfect square, so we need to find factors of like 2 factors of 28, and we know that 28 is 4 times 7. We know that 28 also is 2 times 14, right? But we're going to choose this one for 2 reasons, because we have a 7, so we're going to use it as square root of 7, so we can combine it with other terms like square root of 7 and 2 square root of 7. Also, we have 4, which is a perfect square. That's going to help us to get rid of the root here, all right? So it's going to be like 11 square root of 4 times square root of 7, because 28 is 4 times 7, right? So it's going to be 3 square root of 7 here. And we know that square root of 4 is 2, so it's going to be 11 times 2 square root of 7 plus 3 square root of 7. And we're going to continue here. Let's just, so we can have, can save space. 11 times 2 is 22. It's going to be like 22. So 22, all right, so 22 square root of 7 plus 3 square root of 7, right? And since we have the same root, like square root of 7 and square root of 7, we can combine 22 with 3. What 22 plus 3? That's going to be 25. So the answer will be 25 square root of 7. And that will be the final answer. As you can see here, we just reduced the expression, right? From here to here. All right, so let's continue here. Well, number 3 seems like easy here, because we have the same radical, which is square root of 5. So we can just like subtract 9 from 24, which is going to be 15, right? 15 square root of 5. So this is easy one. This is kind of easy one. All right, so let's do number 4 here. Let's do number 4. Negative 3 square root of 11 minus 2 square root of 44 minus 5 square root of 10, right? Well, I don't think we can do anything for the first one. We're just going to leave it like, like negative 3 square root of 11. But for 44, it's important to look for 11, like factor of, it's 22 times 2, but we can find 11 times 4. Again, this is better than having 22 times 2, right? Why? Because 44, because 11 times 4, 11 is we're going to need it to combine it with the first term here, with square root of 11, and also 4 is a perfect square, so that's going to help us a lot here. So it's going to be, so 2 square root of 44, that will be square root of 11 times square root of 4 minus 5 square root of 10, right? So here we have negative 3 square root of 11 minus, 2 square root of 11 times 2 minus 5 square root of 10. I'm trying to go step by step here. I don't want to miss any jump steps here, right? So let's do this one here. We got negative 3 square root of 11. And here we have negative 2 times 2. That will be negative 4, right? Negative 4 square root of 11 minus 5 square root of 10, right? So here we have negative 3, and negative 4. So it's like we're adding two negative value, right? It's like you spend $3 in grocery store, and you spend another $4, right? Meaning the total you spent like $7. So it's gonna be negative 7 square root of 11 minus 5 square root of 10. Okay, so this is gonna be the final answer. All right. All right, so for number 5, we get square root of 18 plus 8, square root of 27 minus 7, square root of 3. Again, in order to get rid of the root, we need to find perfect square. We know that's 18, right? 18. Now, to find a perfect square, we can choose like, we know that 18 is 6 times 3. And we know also it's 9 times 2. And I will choose this one because 9 is a perfect square. That's going to help me here, right? So 9 is a perfect square. So let's do this one here. So we're gonna have square root of 18. That would be square root of 9 times square root of 2 plus 8. And 27, we know that 27 is 9 times 3. So it's gonna be like square root of 9 times square root of 3 minus 7 square root of 3, right? So we have like 3 square root of 2 plus 8 times square root of 9 is 3, and we have square root of 3 here, minus 7 square root of 3, right? So we have like 3 square root of 2 plus 8 times 3 is 24, square root of 3 minus 7 square root of 3. Now we can combine the last two terms here. We have like square root of 3, 24 square root of 3 minus 7 square root of 3 is like we have 24 apples minus 7 apples, and that will be 17, right? 17 square root of 3. So it's going to be 3 square root of 2 plus 17 square root of 3, and I believe this is going to be the final answer because we can't go further, right? All right, so let's do number 6 here, right? So negative 2 square root of 20 plus 2 square root of 45 minus square root of 5, right? Again, we need to find a perfect square here, right? So we know that negative 2 and square root of 20, we're going to choose 4 times 5. We're not going to choose 2 times 10 because it's not going to help us, or we're going to have to do more work. So 4 times 5, there is a straightforward. So because we can cancel the 4 there because we have a square root of 4 is 2. So square root of 5 times square root of 5, square root of 4 times square root of 5 plus, again, 45, we need to find a perfect square. We're not going to choose 15 times 3, but we're going to choose 9 times 5 instead because 9 is a perfect square. So we're going to have like square root of 9 times square root of 5 minus square root of 5, all right? So here we have like negative 2 times 2 times square root of 5 plus 2 times 3 square root of 5 minus square root of 5. So what's negative 2 times 2? That would be negative 4 square root of 5, and we have 2 plus times 3, that would be 6 square root of 5 minus square root of 5. Remember, it's like we have minus 1 square root of 5. So we have like square root of 5, square root of 5, square root of 5. That's gonna be square root of 5 here. Okay, and then we're just gonna combine those numbers here, right? We're gonna have like negative 4 plus 6, that's positive 2. That's positive 2, right? Minus 1, and that will be 1. So negative 4 plus 6 is like, it's positive 2, and we have minus 1, so the answer is 1. So it's going to be 1 square root of 5, which is just square root of 5. And that's going to be the answer. That's going to be the answer. All right, so number seven, we get like negative 9 square root of 15 plus 10 square root of 15. Well, this is straightforward because we have, we're just going to combine negative 9 with 10, right? And that's going to be 1. It's going to be like, because negative 9 plus 10, that would be 1, right? Square root of 15 here, and the answer is just like square root of 15. So this is easy. And the last one here, we have number 8. We have like negative 3 times 24. And we know that, well, negative 3 times square root of 24 minus square root of 6. So we know that 24 we have to look for a perfect square, which is 4 times 6 here. It's going to be like negative 3 times the square root of 6, right? Times square root of 4, because 24 is 6 times 4, or 4 times 6, minus square root of 6 here, right? So we have like negative 3 times square root of 6 times 2, right? Because square root of 4 is 2. And that would be negative 3 times 2, that would be negative 6 square root of 6 minus 1 square root of 6. If we have nothing, it means we have 1 there. So we have like square root of 6 here. So we're going to combine negative 6 with negative 1. And negative 6 added to negative 1, again, you spend $6, then you spend another $1, right? That's going to be, it's like you spent like $7. It's going to be like negative 7 square root of 6. And that's going to be our final answer. All right, that's it for today, and I'll see you to the next video.